Ear to the Streets podcast, another special one. Can't start season 3 without obviously bringing on Jesse. I think you've been on the, I think you was on the intro ones that I did, and then you've
Yeah.
done another one for the grind ones as well before season 2. So it was only right that we do a season 3 special.
Was that on season 2?
Yeah, we did the
No.
grind
Oh
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
cool,
we
cool,
did
cool.
grind producers, man. We did the
Yeah,
grind
yeah.
producers.
So I
But
couldn't remember if that
yeah,
was season 1 or not, but yeah.
I think we recorded it kind of like mid in between,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it dropped for season 2. But yeah, man, how you doing anyway, man? What you saying?
Yeah, man, all good, man. Just usual. It's taking in music all the time. Different vibes for different moments, you know.
Yeah,
So
no, it's true,
yeah,
man.
man.
It is true. It's true. But yeah, I wanted to obviously do this one special. We had to, well, when I spoke to you offline a few weeks ago, we said that we needed to do something like this because the artist we're talking about today, for me, Dave, if people don't know, like he's different, like different gravy. But what I want to say before, because it's a bit mad, like you know when you go online and like when Dave's album drops, for instance, and you go online, obviously it drops at midnight and it like just drops on Spotify and whatever. But then by 12:30, you're seeing people online talking about it's one of the greatest albums, it's this and that. Like we had to process the album properly before we could even speak on it, which is why we're only doing this now. Because it's been out for probably just under 2 months now, I think, or maybe a month and a half, something like that, around them kind of time. So even now, I'm still processing. A prime example, I'm still processing Get's album that he dropped. Do you know what I mean? I'm still
Yeah,
processing
yeah.
it. Do you get what I'm
Exactly,
saying?
yeah.
Like you got to
Yeah.
process albums properly. But yeah, we've got to talk about Dave in depth, the album. First of all, I want to get your thoughts on Dave, what you think about obviously his transition from his early work like Six Paths, Psychodrama, and then this latest album. What do you think that transitions? Do you think it's worked for him? Do you think it's gone well?
I think it's gone extremely well, man. And I think what's interesting about him is even if you go back and I've listened to some of that Six Paths and some of the early singles and tracks that he done, and I think he's having like don't want to say streamlined transition, but his transition doesn't feel like a transition. It feels so like smooth that it don't feel like he's changed. His music sounds more mature. He's matured and obviously he's experienced life, and we're hearing them experiences in his music, which obviously shows growth. But in terms of like the different types of music that he does and the versatility, it's been there from the start, innit? And he's just only evolved that really and added to that. And yeah, his transition's been excellent so far, man.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. I agree, and it's mad because when I listen, even now when I listen to Psychodrama, like there's not many artists for me that can better their first album, and Dave's for me has done that with We're All in Alone in This Together. I feel like I'm trying to think of artists, not even just from the UK. Maybe I might put a. Is anything better than a College Dropout? I don't know. I don't think so. Jay-Z, Jigga, yeah.
But that's what see that's it though. And I was gonna say that maybe later on, but I think that's what he gives me, them kind of like Jigga vibes, in a sense of like he's extremely polished, man, in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of artists here or abroad that like they can give you different content. They can rap about different things. Their wordplay, they've got different flows. Some of them try to do everything, but they often fall short in a certain area. And when I say fall short, not like badly fall short, but they're not like excellent in all areas. I think he's excellent in all areas. And
Yeah, he
I
is.
think we've seen that with the features that he's done for other people over the last like 5 years. I mean, and you've also seen it on his own music and his bodies of work and the singles that he drops. And I think, yeah, man, I agree with what you said. I think the album's better than Psychodrama. And
I don't mean that in a bad way either. I don't mean it's better. Psychodrama is up there, but for him to surpass that as well, madness.
Yeah, and I think it depends. Like, I agree with you. Some people might not agree, but it's debatable. And a lot of artists, it's not debatable when they drop another body of work. Like, you might like the new body of work, but when you rank it and like measure against the others, it doesn't. It sometimes usually falls short. because a lot of artists, they kind of, their first bodies of work is their peak, if we're being honest. And that's even
Yeah.
artists that we have attachment to. Like, that'd be artists that you even like, but when you go back and listen to old stuff and like listen to their newer stuff, it's like, okay, this is good, but it's not where that was. And I think he's someone that's like, hasn't reached his peak yet.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
that's the scary side of it in a good way,
Yeah.
because there's a lot for him to still do.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even obviously talking about the album now, we're all alone in this together. I'm gonna get that right before the episode's done, rather than stuttering. But like, in terms of that body of work, like, it's, I don't even know where to start, man. In fact, let me start with this. This is where I'm gonna start with it. When the single Clash dropped, I was very apprehensive about listening to the album, and I think that's why. And I'll tell you why. I think because when the album dropped, it took me a couple of days. I remember, I think I messaged you and you said, "Oh, I'm listening to it now." That was like a couple of days later, and I said, "Oh, I still haven't listened to it." And then I said I was going to save it for the gym or a drive. I think I was going on a long drive, so I can't remember. But anyway, when Clash dropped, I was apprehensive as fuck, because I thought, I don't want to hear. I don't want him to be like that. Because when I first heard Clash, all I could hear was APs, Rolex, Look at Me. Do you know what I mean? And you need that kind of song on your album. You do need that.
You do.
You do need
Do you know why? Because you see, with rap here, that's what I meant about like him being polished in all areas. I think there's rappers that are just known for that type of rap, like talk about materials, lifestyle. You need that, because this is music is entertainment. Exactly. So you need to paint pictures for me to like musically to understand where you're at in it. And sometimes that's why you do need to hear that stuff, because that's how they're living right now. So like it's their life, innit? Do you know what I mean?
It's true, man. It is true.
So you do, for that reason, you do need to hear that, because it's just their reality. And that's why that doesn't bother me. But I think with him, I'll continue on. What was you saying?
No, I was just saying about Clash. Like, obviously for me,
I liked it though. But
no, it's grown on me though. It's grown. Like the
video is outstanding.
Yeah, it's top quality. Like, you don't expect anything else from Dave. And exactly, I think that was produced by Carl Evans. He was one of the main producers on the body of work. James Blake. I think Nana Rogues produced the intro as well. But I think in terms of Clash, I think it worked, because I think obviously Stormzy being on any one single is gonna do well. I think Dave didn't need him on there, but I think it helped that he was on there. It was good to see them both on there on the track together. I enjoyed that. Eventually, when I first heard it, I was just like, I can't listen to this. It's just AP's rollies. But it's good.
But they complemented each other well on the track. And
that's it.
I think you can obviously, when artists compliment each other on a track like that, you could tell that outside of the music, they're friends, and like that they made that together.
Connection. Yeah,
they got a connection, but
a vibe.
Yeah, a vibe, and they made that together, because you can, not all the time, but sometimes when you listen to music, you can always hear when that artist wasn't in the studio, and sometimes that's not always a problem. Like for example, I think on Gets' album, the tune with Ed Sheeran, I think Ed sent him the verse from Japan, for example. But you can't
sometimes you can tell that though. You can tell, and I don't mean you can tell. You can tell just by the difference in the way that the mix is done. Do you get what I mean? So I don't mean in terms of like, but you can tell the mix is a bit different.
But whereas when they're together, like if you're in studio together and you drop your verse, they done theirs, it will sound kind of the same, but in a good way. So like, say like
in the room together.
Yeah. So say like, obviously I know we're not talking about him, but say Gets Again, when he made Mozambique, you could tell that like him and that
they were all in the room.
They was all in the room, but you can hear it even with I can't remember her name.
I know who you're on about.
So is it Music Soldier? I can't remember her name, but the South African lady.
Yeah.
You could tell that she was there when he done his verse, because it sounds not exactly the same, but it's got the same vibe, same tempo, and they dovetail so well on that. And
but then it's mad, because then you can tell that JK wasn't there. Do you get what I mean? Like, you can tell that he wasn't there for his bit.
Yeah.
Kind of answers, proves your point, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, but like with some of these songs, you could tell that they were together doing them. And I feel like when you're going to drop an album, the single kind of has to be not a statement song, but it has to be one that can draw in the most attention to the album. So I think it's always common sense, like for that song to have been the first single from the album, because some of the other songs are quite deep, they're hard hitting, they're still quality songs, but I feel like that was probably the best selection for a single.
Yeah. Because I think you're right. I think, like I said, I think when you've got like that kind of vibe, and like you said, they both kind of complement each other on the track as well. It did make sense, but then a part of me thinks, and I don't want to talk about it too much today, but a part of me just think, was it like that ulterior kind of thing from Stormzy? Like, let me just put them couple lines in and, do you know what I mean? Ignite the fire again. But I think all that is, it's silliness now. It's all silliness now. I think I
Yeah,
don't want to.
it's all silliness, but it's also rap. Like people been dropping like those type of one-liners for decades now. Jay-Z does it on
He's a king
pretty
of it,
much.
isn't it? He loves the subliminals, man. He loves them.
Jigga does subliminals, not anymore because he doesn't really rap. But like, if there's a situation at his time, you will hear it in Jigga's next song.
Yeah.
And
Because
he
remember
doesn't.
with the Lil Wayne one when
Yeah,
I can't remember what
when
song it
spending
was.
your lady's money,
That's
Ham.
it. Yeah.
It was on
Ham.
Ham.
That was it.
Yeah, it was on
Yeah.
Ham. And he's known for that. He does it all the time, but it's just subliminals, man. That's just what happens in rap, really.
Yeah.
And then it's
That's
up
the
to
rap
you
game,
how you
innit?
take. Yeah, it's up to you how you take that subliminal. Are you gonna do a subliminal? Or are you gonna
Full
turn it into a
diss with the
whole?
video.
Yeah, and I know we're not talking about that right now, but that's for me where Chip should have just done another subliminal. But I think we should cover that in another episode. But
Yeah, 100%, 100.
but in terms of Dave. I'm not bothered. I don't think it would bother him that Stormzy did that. I don't really think he would care about it. And I think they complement each other well on the track. It's brilliant tune, man.
Yeah, man. When I first heard the first track, "We Were All Alone," like, boy, I don't think I got past that song for like an hour or something like that, literally, because I was just wheeling it, coming back again, listening. But yeah, that's the one that Nana Rogues produced with Cole Evans, and Dave produced it because Dave produced a lot of the album or co-produced a lot of the album.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
but
you can hear that though.
Yeah, and I think it kind of opens like the chapter well for the album. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of opens it up, man. Like, what did you think when you first heard it? What was your first thoughts? Obviously, you've heard Clash, then you get the album, and it kind of just picks up a little bit where Psychodrama kind of left off, and then you get
it's a continue. I just took the intro as a continuation of Psychodrama, really. Like, and I think another thing that he's really good at is like in his lyrics, he's very good at telling us what's going on with him at the moment, and I think that's a skill that a lot of artists don't have, and that's what I mean. Like when with a Clash where he gives us all the bravado, the lifestyle, all of that.
It's more serious now.
He'll have a tune where even the whole 16 or the whole 32 might not be serious, but he's going to give you 2 or 3 bars where it's like he's telling you what's going on right now, and it all like, oh yeah, I had a fan that like was telling me that they wanted to kill themselves.
He says it here. I got a message from a kid on Sunday morning, said he didn't know what to do and that he's thinking of killing himself. Me and him have got more in common than he thinks, but I tell him to see a shrink so I can go and live with myself.
Exactly.
Like,
and
do you know what I mean? Them bars are mad.
Exactly. And when he says things like that, it's telling you that it tells you a lot about his age, because he wants to just go and live his own life. But it also tells you that he knows he's got a responsibility because of the stature he has
Who he is.
Who he is and his fan base. And man, I just blown away like so many times in that track. And
I got another one for you. Backstabbing man, I'd rather that you cut my face. If I ain't charming the women, it's all the fucking snakes.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell, like,
that's what I mean. But this is what I said, and I think when we spoke about Psychodrama, I said this before. It's like lyrically, he's on he's not. There's a lot of people not seeing him in this country, and I'm including the olders and everybody else that's come before us as well. Like, because I think a lot of people don't want to give him the credit because of his age, and just because he's a new artist. And a lot of people say, "Oh, this is hype," and people are just getting on the bandwagon and all this type of... No, it's not. There's no bandwagon here. This is like, this is a world-class artist. Like, this is top tier. And wordplay, bar for bar. like production wise. Everything he gives you is of an A1 standard, of a
Yeah,
gold
yeah.
standard, and maybe that's hard for maybe other artists to admit that because they're just not lyrically where he is, and
Mm.
that's just the truth, man.
I think
Because
with Dave as well.
I think I said this to you before, yeah, when I was listening to the album. I think one of the things with him is his intellect is so high that it allows him to put verses together like he does. And I think like his IQ, his intellect is a lot higher
It's
than a
just
lot
down
of
to
other
like
artists.
he's just smart. Like it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when you talk
That's what I
about
mean.
like
Yeah,
like Chip as well. Their education outside of music. They're just smart people.
yeah,
And like JME's another one. Like they're smart people. Some people are artists. They're very good at being an artist, but and the bars are good. The lyrics are good, but they're not. They're not
because
outside their box. Do you know what I mean?
no,
Like they haven't got a box. They're just, do you know what I mean, blue sky thinking kind of thing. They can just do what they
yeah,
want.
yeah.
That's
Like
literally it.
there's artists that they're good. They put good lyrics together. They put wordplay together. Sometimes they're good at punchlines. But the reason why I said with his intellect and how smart he is, you start drawing on like different things. You might be drawing from books you've read. Like you might be
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about art. You might be talking about like different films or just different life experiences, in it, and different things that you've educated yourself about, and that all comes into his music, and that's why he's of a higher standard than a lot of other people here.
yeah. I agree, man. I
Because
agree.
even
I
when
think,
he says things, and I think, oh, how do you know about that? Your age, do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
In a
yeah,
good in a good way though, like and
yeah. Because he's just smart, man. I think he
yeah,
just, like you said, he's just educated enough to understand life,
yeah.
and that's what most artists don't know. They don't know. They know how to string bars or be an artist, but they don't know about actual life, and they don't talk
But
about it as well. That's
but
another thing. They
that's
don't really talk about it.
that's what I was going to say though, and that's why a lot of artists box themselves in because they don't evolve because they're not trying to evolve.
Mm.
And some of them don't have to, but like that's why a lot of them have a cycle and they have a shelf life because once look, you have everyone's got a core fan base, yeah.
Mm.
But once the popular side of your fan base moves on to the next thing, you're just stuck with your core fans. But if you don't evolve and you don't show them something new or you don't try and do new things and it works for you, then you can't get the longevity. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah, true.
the artists that get longevity are the ones that can do that.
Yeah, you gotta
They
be able
can
to
come
adapt
they
and
can
evolve.
come adapt, evolve, come out your comfort zone, do different
Mm.
things, and not when I say different things, not necessarily like selling your soul and like just trying to do things for it to connect, but evolve in your own way.
You've
And
got to be
I
able.
think,
You've got to be able to be in different like like umbrellas.
yeah,
You got to be able to have a clash on there, but then have something where it means something to someone and people can connect in different ways to your music. You can't just be a one-dimensional artist or branch out and do a collab with like an Ed shit. Do you know what I mean? Like go and find a pop artist to do like a quick song with, collaborate, and then that's me branching out a bit. No, you've got to be able to consistently be different to different aspects to appeal to different people. Because
yeah,
that's what he does. He does that a lot.
like Lazarus, for example,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like we're alone in this together, a Clash, a Lazarus, in the Fire. These are very different, but and then this is where he shows his level because when like say that first couple of days online, I'm seeing blogs posting one song. I'm seeing other artists listening to this song. Other people are listening to that one, and that's when you know the body of work is serious. When everyone's rating a different song,
Mm.
and that tells you that the body of work is at a really high level. Because usually, when a body of work comes out, there'll be a song that everyone likes. Everyone's
Mm.
banging this one song. Maybe the rest of it's good, but they're banging this one song. Whereas this was like everyone's got a
There
different
ain't no
favorite song.
skips, man. There ain't no
No,
skips
there's
on
no
there. You
skips.
listen,
There's none.
listen to the whole thing. But you mentioned in the file because when I got to that, yeah, you know, it was weird as well. I think on Spotify, I don't know if they've changed it now, but it didn't have the features, and
It still doesn't.
I don't think I even knew who the features were either. I don't think I knew at the time. I didn't check like the track list before it came out or nothing like that. I just wanted to like just keep it normal.
No, it
But
still doesn't.
when you heard it, and obviously you hear like
but I knew who they were just by like obviously their voices and that because I listened to
No,
them.
I knew that when I listened to it,
Yeah,
but I mean before, prior,
yeah.
because you didn't know they were. I didn't know they were on there
No, I
until
didn't know. I didn't know either.
I heard it. But when you hear that, and then you hear like Gets come in, and you think, raw, like okay, and then you hear like Fredo's on there, Meek's on there as well. What was
But what I loved about In the Fire was that I think one thing I started to realize is when guys work with Dave, I think he's someone that will. I've said this before about Dave. Like I feel like if you get him on a track, you 90% chance you're going to get spun.
yeah,
95%
of
chance you're
course.
going to get spun, and
But you have
and
to
you.
up yourself as well. You got to up
But that's
your
what
game.
I was gonna. That's what I was just gonna say. So I feel like a lot of artists know when they come on a Dave track, they know that they've got up their own level. Like, and that's what I heard with that song. I liked all of the verses. And the thing with a song like that is they're all kind of different artists. They're all different types of rappers and MCs, but it still went well together. And they all done their thing, man. Meek's done his thing. Fredo done his thing. Gets was superb on that. Dave was sick on that as well, and it blended really well together. I like the changes in the instrumental for the different rappers too. It suited what they wanted to do and suited how they rap, and it was brilliant, man. It was a brilliant tune, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That's one of my favorites.
It could be. It's it. You could talk about that kind of song in the same kind of brackets as like a Game Over, and
Yeah,
it won't. It's not the same level, but it's kind of got
I
that
think it's
same
high. I
type of.
think it's like 10 times better. I think it's 10 times better than Game Over. I think Game Over definitely changed like that whole thing of bringing artists together. Because at that time as well, there wasn't something like that, was there really?
No, it's. I think that when we got Game Over, that was at a time when that kind of song used to happen all the time. From the early 2000s to 2010, there was a song like that every year. Whereas now it's maybe down to egos, labels, and all the other issues that we get now. That's not really happening anymore.
Yeah,
But
on that level though, like on that level where because remember at that
England,
time,
do you remember England 10? That was on that level.
yeah, but that wasn't on like their level. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
that I love that. See, I love that. But when you cause
England
remember
10
all
was
them,
cold.
that was very very cold. I might have to
Yeah,
play it
yeah,
later on.
yeah.
But like them like Game Over was like they were all kind of on like record deals at the time. Do
They
you know
were
what I mean? It was like a
megastars.
big,
Yeah, they were
yeah.
megastars.
They
Yeah.
were like they were doing like big tours and all of that stuff, and that's the first time I can remember seeing something like that on that level. But I think this In the Fire, even though they're not like all signed and blah 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 and all that stuff,
It was good though. Yeah,
it's still production. Everything is a lot better than that Game Over. Like I didn't
yeah,
like Example on Game Over, and I didn't like. There was someone else I didn't like on there. There was someone else that didn't fit. I think it was Example. Like his verse, he just didn't fit.
yeah. The rest of them was cold on that.
Yeah, yeah. But I like it though. Apart from Example, but yeah. But yeah, no, In
Yeah,
the
but In
Fire.
the Fire was cold. It was cold.
Yeah, yeah. I like that, man. I like that. That's one of my favorites. And then I like the way it goes from In the Fire to Three Rivers. And I don't know why I like that. The way it just you kind of like you've got all these artists on one track, and you kind of like you just vibes into it, but then it kind of brings you back down to ground with Three Rivers.
Hmm.
Do you get what I mean? With the
Yeah,
message behind it as well.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It was a good tune, man.
Yeah, that was
A lot
another
of
one.
bars, a lot of bars, a lot of wordplay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's got a message behind it, man. It's like obviously like the fact that like they're talking about the Windrush generation that come over, obviously coming here with the promise that they're going to be able to better themselves, and then years later they're being told that
Yeah,
they gotta go home and all that. It's
yeah.
like that's what I mean about Dave. Like he touches
But that's what I was going
on subjects that many artists can't touch because they wouldn't know how to articulate it into a song.
and I think that's again, that's what I said when about hitting all the different areas, and like that's another area that he's doing things that one rapper is good at. So
Mm,
there's glossy rappers, then there's rappers that are good in that political area, or we would look to them rappers in that political area to talk about race and injustice and those type of massive issues. Whereas Dave is someone that's good enough ability wise to do all of these things, but he's also big enough that we take him serious in all these areas as well. It's not like when he does a Three Rivers that we we just switch off and not listen to him because it's like, oh, why is Dave doing that? He should do something else. We take him serious in this arena as well. And but you always expect a song like that from Dave now because he's set that standard from a long time ago, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And was it Question Time? He's got some called Question. Yeah. So
when he's on about the Prime Minister, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, from Theresa May, and
Theresa
like
May.
he set that standard from then. So, and he's always given us something like that on all of his albums. Black as well, on the psychodrama. So, yeah, it was big, man. It was important, but it's good because you always know you're going to get that from him.
Yeah, and you can like when I listen to that Three Rivers, I feel like I'm watching a program, like I'm visualizing the song. Do you know what I mean? And like it's just it's a mad song, man. I think in there's a line where it says they're key workers, but they can't even get in the door.
Yeah,
do you know how mad that is? Like
yeah.
There's nurses and that out there, civil servants, all of that stuff.
Yeah,
like do you mean? And they've probably been here for years and years, doing like NHS work or whatever, and now they're being told that they gotta go home. Like to me, like, yeah, it's a crazy song, man.
It's crazy.
But I think like you said, you need that kind of stuff. You need a Clash on there, but then you need a Three Rivers as well. You need a Lazarus as well, all them kind of stuff on there as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what he gives us. He gives us that perfect balance, and because lyrically he's so superior to a lot of guys, he can do it in that way that it's still entertaining, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. But the only two other tracks that, for me, in fact, the whole album, I don't want to say the two other tracks, but the two that, when I heard them, I was like, raw, yeah, this is cold. This is one of the coldest bodies of work I've ever heard in my life. In fact, let me say three. System, because it features Wizkid. I'm a big fan of Wizkid.
Cold, yeah.
Very, very cold. I like that. Because then you got them kind of two, I think it's Lazarus as well.
And that one, System, and it gives you that like vibey
summer vibes, like the kind of sun's out, barbecues drinks, on, vibes.
Yeah, proper. And then, but this is what I'm saying. So like, he gives you everything, man, and you also need that on the album. And then there's going to be youngers, not in a bad way, but they're younger than us, and they're pre-drinking and they're going out or they're coming after parties. They're going to play that. They're not going to. It's not Three Rivers time. No, it's a system. No, but it's a system. It's a like Lazarus type of vibe right now. Like saying like on the last album when he gave us the Wizkid, the Burna Boy tune, Location.
Yeah.
That's now it's time to just like, you get me, like couple juice and that. If you're single, couple girl and that, like that's that. Yeah, that's that kind of time. But again, quality stuff. It's not like he's not just doing it because it's like Dave and I need to do something like this. He does it in his way and he still makes it work without like compromising yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I think J5 produced all them three as well.
Yeah, and that's his. And that's
you
his
can
bag.
tell, like, you know that's him. So, but the other two songs, the last two, Heart Attack, Flipping Hell. No, I'm being serious. Like when I heard the end of that,
I told you. Remember I said this to you when I was listening to it. Yeah, it gives me the vibe. Maybe I'm giving him credit for. I don't know if this is even true. Yeah, it sounds like it was done in one take, and
possibly
it feels like a fire in the booth. Like it feels like if he was gonna go in the booth, not now, one extra time, like real fire in the booth. Yeah, it feels like someone come the week before, they shelled it down. And then Dave was
a wretch came before him.
Or like a wretch, and then Kano come the week after and just done his thing. Yeah, that's what that sounded like to me. It sounded like someone mashed it up the week before. I was like, all right, cool.
Pissed off now, innit?
See you later. I'll see you in the booth. That's what that felt like. And again, this is another side of him, where it's like he shows us that he can do everything. And it's like when it's time to bars, no hooks, no games, no vibes. I'm a rapper's rapper, and I'm your favorite rapper's rapper, and I'm going to show you today why I'm the best. And that's what I got from Heart Attack. And I know it's deep. There's deep moments in it, and he's talking about some stuff, but it just sounded like he just went in the booth and spazzed. And it was like,
he did, man.
It was like he had these bars, and he had to just get them out. And it felt like a fire in the booth, man. It felt like one of them classic kind of, you know, like them SBTVs back in the day that would come on YouTube and like they've spoke about in years to come. That's what Heart Attack sounds like, and it probably needs a video where it's just him, just a mic, and just shell it down like that's all it needs. It don't need no one in the video. Maybe some background. I don't know what. It just and a mic, and he
just him,
barsing off for 6 minutes. Just
him dressed in something white, mic, nothing else. It's simple but effective.
And it was good though, because I think it's always good for rappers to have a song like that on their album, because you need to show that this is you, innit? Like this is your arena. Like I'm the guy here. Like, and that is just as important as doing a lifestyle type of tune and talking about how good your life is and all that stuff. Yeah, that's good. We need to hear that too, but we need to also know that this is your job. Can you do your job?
This is your thing.
Like this is your thing. This is how you come into the game. Doing stuff like this shows that you can still do it, and that's what he done on that song. And I thought it was amazing.
You know the line though. Remember, I messaged you the line that got me. He says, "You violate Chris, then Ra turn Chris Benoit." Oh my god! I was like, no, because you see, like to even put that in bars. That's what I mean. Like to articulate that in a verse when you're spazzing as well. Because I can imagine him like just writing. I don't know if he writes or if it's off the top, but whatever. If he's writing that down, can you imagine just writing that down and going, "Yeah, okay."
Do you know what I mean? Like, he wrote that and got gassed himself, innit? You know? We've seen that. Like, but like this is, and I think this is what I'm saying. It's like other rappers would have heard that, and be like, "Yeah, okay,
I need to up the level."
Because sometimes, you know, it's like not as a rapper. I'm not a rapper in it, but say like you're doing something, and I don't know, say like football, you might play football, amateur football. I play on a Saturday or whatever, and then like someone might be in your position in it, and you might think like, I don't see what the fuss is about, blah blah blah. Do you get what I mean? You might think like that. I know rappers will think like that, but then you see it in a certain game now, you think, oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah, because it's all competitive, man. It's still like just because it's bars, it's a lot of competitive
competition,
it's competition.
But where a rapper might like discredit his thing, they might hear a Three Rivers and think, oh, he's just a political rapper, or they might hear the thing and think, oh, he's just trying to do everything. But then when you hear that, it's like, you see your thing. I'm better at your thing than you are. Like that's what I got from that.
Yeah, I agree with you. The fire in the booth vibes was definitely what I got from it as well. And when you said that, because I think we were listening to it at the same time, but I think you was ahead of me a bit. And then I think you said, it's fire in the booth vibes. When I got to it, I was just like, yeah, this is a mad. And the way it ends as well, like the way it ends, the woman speaking on there, like crying and all that. Boy, that would, boy. Yeah, that's cool.
It was cold, man, and I think you're always going to get a tracks like that from Dave as well, and with the emotion as well, and like the human elements to it. Like he's not just, he opens himself up in his music, and you get to know a lot about him. And I think a lot of rappers don't do that, and I think that's any. And the maddest thing is, every rapper can do that. Like it doesn't matter what your thing is, whether you're a trap rapper or you're like a vibes rapper or you're just bars or whatever your thing is. We all still need to know what you are like personality wise. We need to know things about you, innit? As fans, we need to subscribe to your music in different ways. Even if we come to you for one thing, we still need to kind of, what's going on in your personal life? Like how's certain things in it? We need to, we don't need to know, but it's nice to hear it through your music. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree, man. And then the last track on the album, Survivor's Guilt, I've only just clocked. I didn't even know this, so I'm embarrassed, but I didn't know that was Georgia Smith on there as well. Yeah.
What?
Rotted.
I didn't know that either. But wait. Before we go there though, obviously, Verdansk. Yeah? You see Verdansk?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Carry on. I'm listening.
I fucking love that tune. But that's you see Verdansk here, that gave me the vibes of like when he
Man
gets in
said,
this kind of.
get frisk or on a bad day, man gets airlifted. You
That's
see,
what I'm
when he
saying.
said that,
That's what I'm
that's when
saying.
I knew we was in for something special. When I heard that
But
one,
that gave me the vibe of like, you know, Titanium, that
yeah,
single.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
dance, the dance gave me them type of vibes. It's where
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's where he blends that like that lyrical high level wordplay with the lifestyle
The
and kind of
badness that comes with it as
and the
well.
bad and the crud and throws it all together in
Yeah,
the pot, but it comes out nicely. And
yeah, yeah. It's
that's
crazy.
that like you at one moment in the tune you're getting that cocky like lifestyle stuff, then you're getting a crud, then you're getting like the mad wordplay, and it's the dance was a that's one of
Because
my favorite tunes on the album, man.
that's the tune that he previewed like in the car. Remember, he's in the Lambo
Yeah,
with
yeah,
all his
yeah, yeah.
bedrooms,
Yep,
and everyone's like, "Oh, that better be on that album."
yeah,
So I
yeah, yeah.
think that had to make the album. But then,
Yep.
yeah, when he said
Do you
about
know
the
what?
man
Do
getting,
you know? Do you know what I wanted on the album as well? Even though we heard it already, I wanted Titanium and Mercury on the album because I just
yeah, but
the
he
reason.
said in one of them that it wasn't going to make the album anyway. I think it
Yeah,
was Mercury. I think
yeah, he said
it was
it
one of
wasn't,
them.
but the only I just out of laziness, I just wanted it on the album because I like the song, and you know sometimes it's just nice to have it on there. So
Imagine that laziness, like he hasn't got Spotify. He can just click on the
no,
thing, you know.
no, but like when I'm listening to the album, it
Nah,
can
I know
just
what you mean.
be like
Bonus,
on
just
there,
bonus
yeah,
ones.
like so I can just don't need
Yeah,
to go out of that album to find it, and it's like just
make
there,
a playlist, man.
and it suits the album anyway.
Yeah, it does.
But
It did. No, it did. It did. It did.
but the other tune as well, where he's talking about his ex, the Albanian, and
Oh yeah,
like
that's
that
in
situation. I'm trying to remember what. Um,
Isn't that in the? Isn't that in the?
Law of Attraction. Is it in Law of Attraction? Or?
Nah, it's not, man. Because he's on about. It might be,
It's
but I
on.
don't
It's on
think
this
it is.
album. It's on this album.
Yeah, it is. It's on because he says that he fell in love with an Albanian, but it's like Red Bull
Her
and
family.
like a culture clash.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
that's in
But
it's
even
in
that
track
part.
one.
No, is it track
Sure,
one?
I'm sure it's in We're All Alone, man. I'm gonna find out. But
I
yeah, no,
think it
that
was a bit further.
even that bar is a
Come
madness
on,
when you hear
this is
it.
what I'm saying, and that's what I liked about what he done on this album too, and he done it in that same song, where he addressed that situation with the pictures with all the girls on the boat in it when he was getting dragged because of, and we've touched this on our other podcasts, in it. Like it don't matter what you're into, whatever your thing is, live your life in it. But I like the way how he just addressed it because and owned it, like because yeah, that was my ex in it. Because when there was pictures of her originally, he didn't really address it and he was getting dragged. But I'm glad that he addressed that in the music as well. And that's another thing what other rappers are good at that he's also good at is when something happens to him outside of the music and it happens on social media, he will always address it in his music. And
Yeah,
and again,
he
and
doesn't
that's
shy away from nothing.
no, and that's why even I liked the fact that he spoke about that because yeah, just own it, man. Be proud of it, man. Especially if you're in love as well. Like, let us know in it, man. That's good because we're humans. We fall in love. You get me? Like, we want to know these things in your music. If you're opening up your personality like you do, that's all good. You've ticked another box and you've done it like nicely as well. Didn't drag her,
Yeah,
didn't insult her or anything like that. Just
no, he
addressed
just
it
addressed it
nicely.
nicely. He
And
did it the
then
way that he needed to do it. It's in
yeah,
Survivor's Guilt.
Survivor's yeah, it's on a lot. Yeah,
Survivor's Guilt, man. Because I remember
yeah.
now. Yeah, but I didn't know that was Georgia Smith.
I didn't know either, but that makes sense as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But if you was gonna say, because you touched on one already, you just said about Heart Attack. If you had to choose three that you wanted visuals for, obviously you've chosen Heart Attack.
Yeah,
because I've got my three already. Like I've already got my three. But what
no,
would your other two be?
I think for what it is, I think Lazarus needs a video. I think that is such a vibe that it just needs a video. I think sometimes when you look back at history, there's certain songs that just need videos because they're going to stand the test of time. And I think Lazarus will stand the test of time, and it needs a visual to back that up. It's a bit like, I know, you see, whose tune is it? It's Rihanna's song, isn't it? You know, Work, Rihanna and Drake.
Work. When is
If that never had a video, it would still have gone down in history anyway. But the fact we've got the video on top of it, the video matches the tune.
It depends what video you're talking about, because there's two versions. Have you seen the other version?
What's the other version?
I'll tell
There's
you
one where
offline.
they're like in a.
No,
Okay,
no, no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no.
not yeah. I'm talking about the one that's on YouTube, innit? Like they're in the dance.
Yeah,
Like
this one. I
Rihanna's
don't think this one's on
Rihanna's
YouTube.
Rihanna's dressed up like she's in a bashment rave, and like it's got that vibe in it. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think Lazarus needs a video like that. It just needs to be pure vibes, loads of girl, like sun. Maybe not in this country because we ain't got the weather for it. I don't know. Go like a
Man said we ain't got the
go.
weather. We ain't got the weather.
No, maybe it
Get
needs
yourself
like
to
it needs
Spain,
Africa.
Italy.
Maybe even like a Cape Verde.
Yeah, yeah,
Bring all
definitely.
the gal and Cape Verde, like beaches, boats, and that vibes. You get me?
I
Loads of
think we
juice,
would. I think we would
champagne
have got that.
popping.
I think we would have got that if it wasn't for COVID.
But do you know what's making me think? Yeah, and we haven't seen it yet. When he was with all them girls on the boat with Fredo and all that, that might
Mm.
have been for that tune, or it might have been for this another song. I don't know, but yeah. So Lazarus for me, I think the dance needs a video.
You'd want one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I want one for the dance man for what it was, and it's just him and
Mm.
the way
You
how
could
his video,
you could do
the way
visuals
how,
for all of them. To be fair, couldn't you? To be fair,
yeah. But I'm
remember
saying that for
Beyonce
me,
done that. Remember when she done that? She dropped the album and done
sh-
videos for
sh-
all. It
of
is
course I fucking
Beyonce. I
remember
know.
it. Yeah, I remember it. We didn't have because we didn't have a fucking choice, did we? That was like that U2. You remember U2, bro?
Yeah,
Fucking, I
yeah.
just opened my phone one day and this
This
Beyonce.
is you too.
I said, didn't Beyonce do that, or did you have to buy it? I can't remember.
Nah, I don't think it came on for free.
No, we had to buy it.
Definitely,
So,
definitely you too, because I remember you too. I woke up like you woke up one day and it was just on
Rex,
there.
what?
But I
Taking a piss?
remember, I remember Samsung done something for Magna Carta, Holy Grail, Jay
Yeah,
Z. They done
yeah,
the
that
same
was on
thing.
there.
Now I would have been happy with that.
Yeah, that was
I
different.
would have been
Magna
happy
Carta
with the
was
Jigger
cold.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
with
with
that,
you too,
no, I bought the Beyonce one actually. I bought the Beyonce one because I remember, like, I bought it thinking, "Bro, this is a gig." Why is it? It was like some mad file size, and I
yeah,
didn't even
yeah,
have
yeah,
enough data on my phone like to get
yeah,
this
yeah,
album. But yeah, she did it, and it worked. To be fair, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I want a Verdansk, man, and I want Lazarus and Heart Attack. Yeah, that would be my three. In the
My,
Fire
my.
Sick. In the Fire Sick, but I don't think it needs a video because
No, I
I
think
don't know.
the tune's
It's,
cold without
yeah,
the visual, if that
yeah,
makes
and
sense.
and then for me, you know me when I talk about these visuals, I always try and like if I hear a
Visualize it.
song, if I hear a song, I can visualize that it needs a video in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
if I hear a song and I don't really can't visualize something, then I just think it's a waste of time. Then you just done it because you got these artists on the song in it.
Mm.
Where
You
I
know what
don't
my three would be?
what
I definitely do one for Three Rivers. I
yeah
think because like I said, I can visualize that already. So that would be my first one. Heart Attack, yes, but I'm gonna. In fact, you know what? Heart Attack's on its own. We class it as like the Fire in the Booth. That's on its own.
yeah.
So I'd have Three Rivers. I
Even
think
Heart
I'd
Attack.
have.
You know what you could do with a Heart Attack here as a video? You could even actually get Charlie in there, and like you could have
Nah,
Charlie
don't let
there.
him. I wouldn't have him. I wouldn't have him. I wouldn't have him, man. It'd
Or,
ruin
or,
it. Imagine all the
or a
bombs
Kenny.
and the screaming and all
No,
that.
no, no,
And
no, without the bombs, or even a Kenny All Star. You just get man to
yeah, I'd have
introduce it,
Kenny. Kenny's
and then
different. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, we'll have Kenny. We'll have Kenny. Yeah,
yeah.
Kenny can
Fucking
just
turn
come and
this off, man.
introduce it. Well, Kenny introduce
Nah,
him.
Kenny, man.
Dave just walks in there and just tears it down.
Yeah,
Cold.
no, I'd like that. That would be a sick concept as well, because then it would feel like a Mad About Bars.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
But that would be my
But
three anyway. But yeah,
yeah, I think I'd go Three Rivers, um, Heart Attack. I suppose yeah, that would be in there, and then I think I'd either choose Law of Attraction or System.
okay,
But I think I'd go with System more than Law of Attraction.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
they're my
see that.
three, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like that. I'd like that, man. And I think
but definitely
we will get
Lazarus.
videos.
Yeah, definitely Lazarus.
Yeah, that as well. It's hard. It's hard to kind of pick them out, but I think we'll get them. I think we will get because he likes to do like proper visuals, and he already done Clash as well. So I'm
Yeah, I think
assuming
he's
everything's
and
just been slowed down with COVID and that.
he's someone. There's not a lot of artists though like this, but he's actually someone right from the start that he's never given us a shit video. Really,
Nah,
like
never.
he's never been lazy. Even if even like when he's done videos on the ends, it's still been in a way that it's not lazy. So like I can't even remember what the song was called, but there was a song where he's talking about um someone in their early 20s and like a footballer and someone that's gone uni and got into accountancy. And like there was a video, the guy was sitting in the office and then the other guy was playing football. He's at training, doing drills and just little things like that. Like that would have been a lower budget video, but it didn't look like it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And like even when he done the song in Venice,
and
Drake done a remix of it.
I can hear it now.
Yeah, even that was cold.
Shit, like,
and then obviously Thiago Silva with AJ Tracy. So he's always done.
I can't listen to that now, though. You know why I can't listen to that song anymore, innit?
Why? Because he's at Chelsea.
Nah, Alex. Remember that Alex guy? Alex from Glasgow.
Oh god, yeah.
Every time I listen to it, all I can see is him bopping around on the stage, man. But yeah, shout out Thiago Silva, man.
Yeah, that was a cold song, man. And but yeah, that would be my 3. But it's a great album, man. And he didn't let us. I never thought he was going to let us down anyway, because everything I've heard in between Psychodrama and this album, like the features he's done, he's been tearing people to pieces. I think it was with might have been with Giggs. I'd have to.
That's what I was going to ask you actually, because he doesn't really do that many features. When you think about,
he only does features like heavyweight.
The select few that he'll do, he always bodies them, but he's not one of these artists where like I'm not comparing the two when I say this, but he's not like an H or a RD. Do you know what I mean? I'm not comparing the two artists, but I'm just saying whenever I flick on the TV or I go on Spotify, there's a feature with them or Tion Wayne or someone like, do you know what I mean? There's always someone that's like that, but he's a select few that he only has a select few people that he'll go with and do work with.
I think the song I'm thinking of, I think it was on it's on Giggs' last body of work. He's just got and when you hear
Straight Murder.
Yeah. Can you play them on this or wait, hold on.
I don't think so. It'll fuck up the YouTube thing.
Yeah, so if he's on Straight Murder, I think he done his verse before Giggs, innit?
Yeah, he does. He goes first, but then that was the worst thing that Giggs
took him to the cleaners.
Not in a bad way, but there was no way Giggs was gonna do any better off that.
No. Because I think that's where he referenced Game of Thrones, innit?
Yeah,
I think it's a Game of And then he's done Money Talks with Fredo. That was a cold verse as well.
Yeah. He produced that as well, co-produced, didn't he, as well?
Yeah. And then I can't remember there's a tune where he's talking about I go petrol. No, that might have been Titanium Mercury. I go airport more than your man goes petrol station. I think that was on Money Talks, innit?
That's Money Talks.
Yeah, Money Talks. That ball, when I heard that, I thought, fucking hell, that's cheeky.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I mean about him. Like, see when he does things like Clash, that's in the same kind of bag as Clash. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of I'll go airport more than your man goes petrol station. Them kind of bars, I like them, but yeah, like with Dave, he gives you that, but then he'll give you a Three Rivers, or he'll give you a Lazarus, or he'll give you a Heart Attack. Do you know what I mean? He'll give you so many different elements of him. And he's transparent as well. I think that's one of the things I haven't touched on yet, but we're gonna wrap up soon. But he's proper transparent in terms of like you kind of feel like you know him.
That's what I mean. Yeah, he's so open.
Like, yeah.
He tells you that, but that's a good thing because it's like it's that other thing you need with music, because music's supposed to be personal. Like if you're
relatable.
The artist, relatable, and it's the artists that love the craft, and take it serious will open themselves up and tell you things about them. The ones that are just here for the bag, or the ones that are just here for a vibe, you don't get to know
image,
them.
Isn't it? Image.
It's just about image, and I don't want to say this because it makes me look a certain way and things like that. But that's why you like the Kanos and people like that, because Kano will always give you that. Kano will give you something about what's going on in his life right now. He'll always have that in his music, either something that's going on with him or something that he feels strong about. And
I think that's why he sustains how long he's been in the industry as well.
That gives you the longevity.
He's always done that. Always done that. 100%. But no, listen, that was a very good episode. I enjoyed that, and it needed it as well. And to be fair, we did say we were going to do a Gets one. We're going to do that another time.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, definitely.
And when I say Gets, I mean we're going to go back to flipping 2000 and life and
come on,
start from the beginning, man. Because
we'll do that in the evening. We'll do it in the
Yeah, I need a
evening.
juice. I want a juice for that one.
Yeah, let's
I
go,
want a
man.
juice for that one.
Let's go.
But yeah, man, this has been Ear to the Streets, another special episode. Obviously, Jesse joining me, so appreciate you jumping on and
Yeah,
doing
man.
that.
Thanks for having
And
me.
yeah, man. And anyone who's listening or watching, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram at ETTS Podcast. Follow us, get on the YouTube, like and subscribe as well. Don't forget to do that. Season 3's coming. We got some good artists coming on as well. But if you haven't listened or watched any of the episodes previous to that, they're all on Spotify and Apple Podcast, YouTube as well. So yeah, get listening, get familiar, and yeah, look out for season 3.